Hi there crafters, it's Louise with you today, and I am sharing a new layout for Mystical Scrapbooks. Now this month over at Mystical we are focusing on distress inks. So I am going to create a little bit of a rainbow inspired background. So you can see that I'm just pulling out some colours from my distress ink stash. Some of them are the ordinary old distress ink, some of them are the oxide version. I don't really have a preference, I just use whatever I happen to feel like at the time. Now I'm starting with a 9x12 sheet of cardstock. I haven't prepped it in any way. I am just purely using the ink pads to create this rainbow background. No order, just blending everything in and adding some colour. I had planned to actually use this as the background for my layout, but as I blend the colours together, I sort of lose the yellow and end up with a bit of orange there, and I don't really like how this looks. So I go back to the drawing board and think, okay, I don't want to waste this. What am I going to do with it now? So once it's dry, I'm going to trim. Oh, before I trim it, I'm actually going to colour over the top of it. So I grab a stencil and my black distress ink, and I'm going to stencil over the top of it and then trim it all down with my hexagon cutter and mount it all on black cardstock. So this is sort of a fun way to create a interesting background in terms of, you know, we've got that rainbow color, we've got a little bit of black overlay, we've got some shapes in there as well. So I'm going to tear off the sides and I'm going to cut all of these out into the hexagons. No rhyme or reason, just as the way I like them. So cutting them all out, and then off camera I'm going to go ahead and mount them all onto black cardstock. Now I don't then cut them with the hexagon again, I just cut them freehand once I am happy with how the actual shape looks. So now that I've got a bit of an idea of what I'm going to put in my background, pardon me, I'm going to think about what I'm going to do with the layout. Now, I don't have a photo chosen as yet, but because I've got this bright sort of rainbow colour going on, I need something in a brighter sort of colour. I have a bit of a play around with this wood grain because I think the wood grain texture would be quite interesting with this pop of colour, but it sort of gets a little bit lost. There's too much pattern going on. By the time I've got the wood grain and the hexagons and the black and the rainbow, it's all just a little bit too much. So I go back to the drawing board and pull out a white 9x12 cardstock again. So this is going to go in my 9x12 album, and I pull out the sunshine title as well. You can see I've chosen a photo there which is on the way to the beach, so I think very appropriate with this title and also with the bright colours that I've got in the distress ink hexagons that I've created. So lots of fun. I'm going to stick all of this down on camera, and I want my photo to lift a little bit more because I haven't mounted anything behind it. So I'm just going to draw around it with black. I need to add my journaling, and then I'm going to have a bit of a play around with some embellishments from my stash. So a couple of different things. I've got some sticker books here. I really didn't want to add too much to it, as I said, because the distress ink hexagons really are quite a large part of the layout. So I didn't want to, you know, add too much and make it too busy. So all I'm doing is adding a couple of little enhancements in the form of sort of summer type feeling stickers, and that's going to be the finishing part of the layout. So I hope that you enjoyed that technique, the hexagon distress ink background. If you have scrap lifted this project, I would love to see it. Make sure you share it with us on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that little subscribe button.